Kenya, Honduras, Brazil, Miss Venezuela, Chile,
Miss Canada,
Philippines, Brazil,
India,
Ecuador, Czech Republic,
Venezuela,
the Philippines,
Ecuador,
Philippines,
Vietnam, Puerto Rico.
This year, as Miss Earth goes digital on its 20th year, we rise to the challenge. And with just a tap of our fingers, we can unite the Earthlings all over the world. And Miss Earth Crown is up for the challenge. We are bringing you our 2020 Echo Angels in exclusive interviews, plus a whole lot more. This is Miss Earth Crown's Miss Earth 2020 coverage. So join us, only here where we make it possible and where you see it first. Miss Earth Crown. Earthlings, are you ready to be part of the roundup? Miss Earth Crown presents the MEC Pageant Roundup Series, a unique review, commentary, talk, and engagement show where you take control. Tell us what or who you want us to talk about and how you want the show to go, or join us live with guest commentators every week and more surprises. The roundup begins October 3rd, only here on Miss Earth Crown. Miss Earth 2020.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Miss Earth Crown page. This is our episode 8 of our MEC Pageant Roundup series for Miss Earth 2020, and this is a very special episode because it's our final Hot Picks episode for Miss Earth 2020. I am your host for tonight. My name is Noy Sabilan. I am the chief correspondent of Miss Earth Crown, and I will be joined by my handsome co-host for tonight. Let's all welcome our editor-in-chief, Marky Gatchalian. Marky.
Thank you so much, Noy. Good evening to everyone. We'd like to welcome you to another Roundup series. We have very special guests for today. I'm very excited, and I hope that you interact with us. Please write down your comments down below, and we'll read it for you. And tonight as well will be a revelation for all of you. So I hope you stay tuned. So let me turn it back to Noy.
Revelation, big word, Marky. But of course, yes, it's a Hot Picks Roundup episode unlike any other. That's why we are so excited to begin this. So without further ado, because we are going to have a very special episode, I am going to introduce our two guest commentators for tonight. First, one of our favorites from Miss Earth 2019. Let's all welcome our Flora of the Earth from Canada, Matea Henderson. Matea.
Hi, well, I guess good morning for me, but good evening for the rest of the world. It's a little too dark here, but thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you, Matea, for being here. It's so nice for you to be here. And of course, joining Matea, of course, it's we need the best of the best for our roundup episode for this week. And ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to introduce top pageant expert in the Philippines, Mr. Norman Pino. Hi, Tita Norman.
Oh, hello, Noy. I was just checking on something and then you called my name. So, good evening, everyone. Kumusta po kayo? And it's so nice to be here invited with Miss Earth Crown. My first, actually. You know what they say about the first things. It always brings out explosive materials later on. So let's bring it on.
Yay! Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pageant roundup series, episode 8 panel for our final hot picks for Miss Earth 2020. first of all, I'd like to ask our special guests, no? Matea, how are you right now? Of course, it's 4 a.m. right
It
now
is.
in Canada.
It is 4 a.m. It's 4:16 to be exact. No, I'm really good. I've got my hot tea. I've got fanatic pageant fans. I am over the moon and I'm ready to go.
Okay. Thank you so much, Matea, for being here. And of course, when I say it's our honor, it's really an honor, Tito Norman Pino from norman.com. Kamusta po kayo, Tito Norman? How's
As
everything
if
with you?
as if you didn't notice, Noy, the Christmas tree is already at my back.
I know.
I just didn't switch on the lights yet because it's not in December. But very soon the lights will come on, the gifts will be stocked up, and we're all ready for the holiday season. I can feel it. I'm shopping. My pockets are draining, but no love life yet.
Oh, Tito, you might end up having your early Christmas gift with a new love life. We never know. We're gonna wish
Yes, you
I
never
don't know
know.
because wherever that place is, it's an advanced time zone because the Pacific Islands are hours ahead of us. So I would like someone from the Pacific Islands to actually visit me here on a boat, a canoe, a kayak, or a life-sized ship.
Well,
So
anyway,
calling all the
Tito,
people from the Pacific. So
I
please,
know.
okay, you may go to the Philippines now. We have
Ti-
Tito Norman waiting.
Yeah, Tito
Yes.
Norman, this is the perfect show because we are seen across the world right now. So you might find someone.
Yeah, so shout out to Samoa, Tonga, Northern Marianas, Palau Islands, and Guam, please.
There you go. Now, speaking of shout outs, of course, Tito Norman and Matay, we are so psyched for you to be here. Speaking of shout outs, I think it's now time for us to do some shout outs from our fans because we are already seeing a lot of our Earthlings sounding off. Like this one, Nai Tu Liang. He says, I am very excited for our Miss Earth Myanmar. Thank you so much, Nai, for watching us right now.
Hello, Nai. Thank you
Another
for
one.
watching.
Another one here is rooting for Puerto Rico. Amaryllis Pagan Alonso, watching from Puerto Rico. Thank you so much, Amaryllis, for watching. Another one is, of course, rooting for the Philippines. Marichuy Tordillo, thank you so much. Okay, we have a lot of comments here right now. And of course, one of our fellow pageant bloggers, Michelle and Constantino. Hello, MEC, Tita Norma and Matea. Maybe we can say hi to
Hi.
Michelle from Pageant Hub. Thank you so
Hello,
much for
Michelle.
watching us. And another one, perhaps, someone rooting for the USA, Mildred Cruz Refran. Thank you so much. And let's see, maybe two more shout outs. Of course, the ever supportive
National
Director
Mhm.
of Myanmar, Tu Ant Leon is watching us right
Hi
now.
to
Hi, to
Like a emotional kiss out dope kiss right there from Tito Norman. Rest in Venezuela here. Glenn Junior Araos is rooting for Venezuela. And one more perhaps, one more shout out coming from our fans. We have here, okay, someone shouting out for Argentina, Mildred Cruz Refran. So to all of our Earthlings right now, continue keying in your favorites because in a little bit we are going to reveal our hot picks in a virtual reveal unlike any other. But for
Yes.
now, we'll have to move on to our first segment, which is our final recap of the entire Miss Earth 2020, which is going to be handled by my good friend Marky. Take it
yes.
away.
So like before I All right, but before I do that, let me just give a big shout out because I think this is for Tito Norman. Ken Stevens, the national director of Belgium, is saying hi. And he said, I will take my boat from Belgium, Tito Norman.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God, I'll
God.
be waiting for that boat to arrive containing some Belgian chocolates as well and some souvenir from Bruges and Brussels. Yes, Ken, I'll be waiting for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tito Norman. I love the energy. Please keep it coming. It's positive energy for us. And since we're talking about energy, let's just do a very quick roundup of what transpired this week. Actually, a rundown of what happened in the entire virtual edition of Miss Earth 2020. So let's start with the first slide. And I'd like to ask the thoughts of Nona here for the first few events that happened. The first one would be there you go, the Earth Talk, which is actually a revelation of the knowledge as well as the personality of our different delegates. So Nona, what were some of your highlights for the Earth Talk that happened a few weeks ago?
Oh, one of the highlights, I think, more than the ladies having an opportunity to like talk about like environmental issues, I think it was the very first time that they were able to come together on the virtual platform, right? So I think it was a true test of rapport, of like friendship, if you will. And I think it was also a great opportunity for the delegates to really show their personality. I don't know if Tito Norman is going to agree with me on that. What can you say, Tito Norman?
Actually, if this was a normal or a regular Miss Earth, then we won't have the benefit of seeing them in this Earth Talks very lengthily. Because I
Correct.
think this Earth Talks really allowed the pageant fans, the followers, and
Correct.
observers to really get a good idea of how each of the candidates would express themselves. Normally, if this were the old normal, then you would just see them attending the pre-pageant activities, having photo ops with the fans and and all. But you won't really see them speak a lot. But with the
Correct.
Earth Talks, you see the meat beyond the good looks.
Yeah.
Correct. I think I have to agree with you on that. How about your thoughts there, Matea?
I feel like it was an elevated level of the press conference we had the opportunity to attend the first year. Obviously, we were able to walk on stage, talk about our advocacies, but seeing the women in their elements, truly in their countries, I think it gave them a sense of comfort at the same time to go, look what my country can bring to the table as an international delegate, but also the beauty of what I'm able to present to you at the same time. So it was very eye-opening. Rather than having 30 seconds, they were given an opportunity to really set the stage.
I agree with you on that. And this what makes the virtual edition really different. You really get to know not just the advocacies, you get to know the girls deeply, which makes them even more beautiful. Okay, so
Absolutely.
thank you. Thank you so much. So let's move on to the next roundup. What happened? What transpired after the Earth Talk? We had there you go. We had our talent competition. You know what? Personally, I was really excited with this. I saw different types of talents, but before I make my comments, I'd like to hear the thoughts of Matea. What can you say? What were some of your highlights of the talent
I
competition that
have
transpired?
no talent. I do not have a talent in pageant standards, and I can openly admit it. So these girls being able to present what they truly love on stage in their countries, I think it was so beautiful, especially what they were able to express artistically or athletically. For me, one of the highlights was watching Netherlands actually do her athletics, and it blew my mind because you never see women on a pageant stage performing anything other than the arts. So to see that was really, really inspiring for so many women in this industry.
Agree. There were a lot of unique talents that were presented during that event. Tito Norman, who were your favorites during the talent competition?
I agree with Matea. I love Tessa Leconje and her gymnastic turns because, if you're like me and you have been covering pageants for the longest time, like I forgot my love life because of pageantry, you really tend to be more choosy about the talents you watch. I I don't mind looking at or watching singers or dancers, but when a candidate performs something different, it could be magic, it could be gymnastics, it could be something else. It really makes you just sit up and take notice. Unless, of
Agree.
course, if the singer sings as well as Whitney Houston, for example, or a dancer who dances like Jennifer Lopez. But a unique talent is always welcome for me.
I agree with you. And there were a lot of girls who really stood out in this competition. And let me pick up what you said a few minutes ago, Tito Norman. If this were a normal competition, those unique talents wouldn't be even be seen. So
Yeah.
I think it's
No.
an avenue for them to really showcase that. So thank you, thank you. So moving on, we're done with the talent competition. Another aspect or what event that transpired in the virtual edition is this one. The month-long pre-pageant competitions. We have the evening gown, beachwear, and our sportswear. Tito Norman, amongst these events, the evening gown, beachwear, sportswear, which is your favorite, and what were some of your highlights?
Well, if I need to be very subjective, I was chosen as a judge for the sportswear, so
Mm-hmm.
I like the sportswear. But in general, I like all of them because again, we tend to compare things to the old normal. In the old
Correct.
normal, they will all be here in the Philippines. They will have to make do with whoever hair and makeup artists are provided to them. But
Mm-hmm.
in their respective countries, they are in their comfort zones. They have their own hairstylists, own makeup artists
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who will actually make them more beautiful for the
Correct.
cameras. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing different is that they need to really look gorgeous
Mm-hmm.
in videos because in a virtual setting there's always a wall. The
Mm-hmm.
screen is always a wall that separates the judges from the candidates. But the effort that all these ladies put through, that's why whenever I ask some of the girls, they would say, I'm so happy that you appreciate the effort that we're putting through. Because really, it's no joke
It
doing a
is.
virtual competition. If
Mm-hmm.
Matea was doing the virtual competition, then she would virtually win.
I'd hope so.
So thank you, Tito Norman. Let me hear it now from Matea. How do you think is this different from the way it was presented before during your time?
I think it's night and day, but the reason why I say it is although the girls have that comfort level of being in their own countries, working with their own teams, I was in
Mm-hmm.
the Philippines for 5 weeks and it was an amazing opportunity. But I
Mm-hmm.
can't imagine a 2 month long virtual pageant. These women are still students, they still have jobs, they still have families. We're still in a global pandemic.
Correct.
Each country has
Correct.
different regulations on safety policies of where you can go and how long you can be out. So for these
Mm-hmm.
women to pursue this dream for as long as they have and to put in the work ethic and work with their teams, I'm
Mm-hmm.
shocked with the quality of production that these women have put forward
Agree.
because
Agree.
I think about it as a competitor and I go, would my
Mm-hmm.
videographer be available? Would my makeup team be available? And what designers could I pull from? Would I even be shipping things in from the Philippines or Indonesia or from the
Mm-hmm.
UK? Or would
Mm-hmm.
I be sourcing them from home? And that's a completely different conversation that I'd have to have
Mm-hmm.
with my organization. So these women have blown it out of the water in my perspective.
All right, I agree with you on that. Again, would like to give a big shout out, congratulations to all the delegates. You were able to present and represent your country beautifully. Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you. We're done with that. Let's now move on to the last one. Another part of the event that transpired would be, of course, the preliminary judging of beauty of face, fitness, form and poise, and intelligence and environmental awareness. I'd probably like to hear my colleague here, Nonoy. What do you think? What's your favorite event, and what were some of your highlights here?
Well, personally, my favorite, as always, is the intelligence and environmental awareness round because I think Mark, you're going to agree. In the previous years, we were able to like watch it. Actually, we were able to judge a couple of times. We were able to do it like for how many hours in a day? Like
Mm-hmm.
8 to 10 hours straight, right? And it was actually very tiring physically, but then mentally and emotionally, it was really fulfilling because it was a really great chance for us to really know the girls on a personal and on a deeper level, I should say. And I think that round separated the queens from the girls. For
Agree.
personally for me,
Agree.
so that is my favorite, like prejudging part or
All
prejudging
right.
segment.
Agree with you. I'd probably jump the gun here, and I'm going to put someone in the corner, Tito Norman. Since we're talking
Yes.
about the preliminary competition,
Yes, what's that?
who were your standouts?
Are you asking me for the overall, or are you asking me for just one segment? Or no, because I really love the intelligence round, of course. But
Mhm.
again, let me repeat my phrase. If you've been into pageantry as long as I have, you will learn on how to really size up girls without really sitting through the entire monologues that they will be giving. You
Correct.
know, once a lady who does the intelligence round, just I'll just watch the first minute and the last minute of her turn, and then I can already get a good idea of, is this girl good or is this girl one of the best. But in
Mhm.
general, um, the nice thing is that some of my favorites early on, they have managed to maintain their
Agree.
spots in my ranking. But
Mhm.
if I say them, then that would be anticlimactic for my final four later.
Sure, I'd like you to hold it, and you'll be given a chance to zip it for now. Later, we'll give you time to reveal your favorites. But thank you. How about you, Matea? What is your highlight for these preliminary events?
Interview's always been my favorite as a competitor, but also to
Mm-hmm.
watch. But I think this year, what really set it apart was seeing the women without makeup. I'm a true believer that if a woman's able to speak beautifully and know she's beautiful inside and out, and be able to present that on camera, she's unstoppable. She truly is unstoppable in all aspects of her life.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
Marty, can
sharing.
I just
Yes,
add something?
sure, Tito Norman. Yes.
Because like I've covered Miss Earth physically for the past couple of years, and it's me being a clinical psychologist. That's my profession. I have a good feel of the candidates if I'm meeting them person to person. So, like last year, when there was a chance for me to really spend time with some of, well, Matea, you didn't go with us to Misamis Oriental,
I
but
know.
I really spent time with them in Misamis Oriental. And the minute that we left the province in the airport, and before we actually parted ways, I pulled aside Nellis of Puerto Rico and just very casually told her, Nellis, I'm not sure what's my real basis for this, but you're going to win Miss Earth. But
Yeah.
don't be too pressured with me saying that. I just feel that you will win. Just let's just
I felt it the same way. I saw her the
yeah.
first day she walked into Carousel. We were all staying there a little bit early, and I looked at her and I'm just going, well, I'm gonna have a nice vacation. She's the winner. Just hands down. You just know with some women. You just truly know.
Yeah, but with virtual, then it's entirely
It's
different. You
different.
can never really tell.
No.
Agree. I think
Yeah.
that's very true. That's the difference. When you get to interact with the girls personally, you get a feel of who they are and their chances. But since you are on screen, there's automatically there's a screen there, and you
Yeah. Okay, Marky is.
Marky, is there a blackout somewhere in your place?
I hope not.
I hope not
Or
yet.
are you just changing your attire and then coming
No.
up
Ooh,
with
I'd
something
love a
more
costume
flashy?
change.
Well,
Oh my
well,
God, I don't have a costume change. If I change a costume, then I'll be going swimming or skinny
there you
dipping.
yes,
go. I'm
yes. But then,
back.
Tito, while we're waiting for Mark, I'd like to dive in deeper. Yeah, Marky's already here. Marky, you were mentioning something about like the virtual setup versus the physical pageant. Would you like to continue what
Mhm.
you were saying? Yeah.
Yeah, so again, like what I mentioned, it's really different. You will be able to easily gauge the girls when you interact with them physically, but over a virtual competition, you just have to really look at what they have to put out there. So that's what
Yeah.
makes it different, really. So there. So thank you. So you heard it right, straight from the experts. So we're very excited with our next reveal. We are done with our roundup. Let's now turn it
Gusto ko yan,
over for
Tito.
the yes, sige lang, Tito. Ahora
No, no,
lang.
no, continue. I'm just
We are
trying to.
mesmerized.
I'm
Yes,
just,
Like the
I'm just.
beauty of face.
I'm
No,
also
no, Matea is
starstruck.
the beautiful. The Matea is the beautiful one. I'm the beast
No,
here.
you are the beauty. We will switch places. You can take my crowns
Oh my
because you deserve them more
God.
than
No,
I
I
do.
can't. I bloody can't do that. You're having tea. I'm just having water here. It's water. The bloody water.
Okay. Again, we love the energy. Let's keep it coming and let's still continue and hopefully transfer the energy to this next segment. We are done with our recap. Let's now officially reveal our first half of our hot picks, but I will be turning it over virtually to our virtual
Ayan na.
host in our virtual studio. Let me
Oh,
turn it over to Eman. Hi, Eman.
here we go.
Thank you very much, More to our guest
And
panelists
to all of the fans, key in your
around
favorites
the
right
world.
now because
Good
we
evening.
are
My name is
about.
Manuel Feliciano, the creative content head of Miss Earth Crown and your Hot Picks Review host for tonight. And welcome to our Miss Earth Crown virtual studio. After weeks of following the journey of our Miss Earth 2020 Eco Angels, it has come to the final week before the final coronation show on November 29th. And that also means that we are ready to reveal our final hot picks. And speaking of hot picks, this hot picks list is based on the scores that we gave our ladies for the three preliminary categories, which are the beauty of face, figure, poise and form, and intelligence and environmental awareness. But we at Miss Earth Crown added one category, and that is their virtual or online presence. This is the ability of our Eco Angels to rally their supporters behind their causes and, of course, to create an impact and awareness for their advocacy. And we believe this is very relevant since Miss Earth is going virtual this year. So, without further ado, I think it is time for us to reveal our final hot picks. Are you ready? Who made it to Miss Earth Crown's top 20 final hot picks? Let's find out. And let's begin with Portugal.
In my part time, I working with the children. I organize and join the several programs here in my country. These are social and environmental. They have the connection with my advocacy, which is inclusion for all. I'm a very active person, and I love to involve myself in the different programs.
Germany.
The problem in our society is education. Education about environmental issues. Many people sadly don't believe about it or don't even know what it is. So my advocacy is to spread awareness, to enlighten our society, to educate our society.
Make way for Costa
I
Rica.
grew up with the three SL principles, that is home, homeland, and God. That's why I consider that the education I receive becomes my advocacy, that is, leave the place better than how we found it.
South Africa.
I am a creative at heart, and so I love to indulge in the things that bring me love, peace, and happiness. I believe there's so much beauty surrounding us, and so painting is something I love to do, and something that makes me happy.
Australia.
Earth as we know it relies on biodiversity, and all creatures, great or small, contribute to balancing our ecosystem. Their very existence protects the food we eat, water we drink, and air that we breathe. As the most dominant species here on planet Earth, it is our role and responsibility to help maintain this delicate balance.
Panama.
Mi propósito en este concurso es la inserción de la materia de educación ambiental en el pensum educativo de mi país.
The purpose of my education is the introduction of educational pensum as environmental and introduce that in my country.
Moldova.
My advocacy is to avoid buying fast fashion, as at the moment is one of the major pollutants. It also creates dirty water in industrial cities like Indonesia, India. I try to avoid as much as possible to use plastics and objects from plastic, and as well I avoid using palm oil products that contain palm oil, as it's one of the major driver for deforestation.
Japan.
My advocacy is to make everyone realize how precious the earth is. This is what I feel most in studying biology. I learned about the nature of the ecosystem and a lot of things related to the environment. But I think the most important thing is to convey the value of the earth, our precious asset that we have in common with people and other creatures all over the world.
Puerto Rico.
I am a firmly believer that the voice with action could serve as a motivation to change human behavior by building awareness through education and by generally examples.
Belarus.
My advocacy is actually organic food, because when I started thinking about what my advocacy should be, I understood that we all should start from our home because it's the easiest. A lot of people actually feel confused about where to start when it comes to climate change. And I feel like starting at home is the best decision, because actually food industry at the moment is very problematic.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The first batch, only the first batch of our top 20 hot picks for Miss Earth 2020. Are you excited and ready for the second batch? Well, you'll have to wait a little bit because we will get to that later. But before that, back to you guys.
All right, so that was just the first half. Okay, so to facilitate this first half of hot picks, I'll be turning it over to Nonay.
Yes, okay. So Marky, Matea, and Tito Norma, I'd like to ask, I'd like to do like a recap. So first batch is Portugal, Germany, Costa Rica, South Africa, Australia, Panama, Moldova, Japan, Puerto Rico, and Belarus. Was there any like surprises or any candidate that were so happy that made it to our top picks? Let me first ask Matea.
I don't think there were any surprises. I think the girls who you chose, you guys know the industry, you know what you look for. The women are incredible. Someone I was really happy to see actually was Australia. When I found out Australia was crowned, I fell in love head over heels with her story, with her advocacy, and just understanding the adversity she's overcome and how she implements it not only into her beauty for a cause, but just in her daily life. And seeing that was something that really I fell in love with, and I truly became a fan of hers right off the bat. So I was really happy to see her.
There you go. Thank you, Mateo. What about you, Norman? Any surprises from our first batch, and which ones were you so happy to be part of our first batch of hot picks?
Actually, I don't want to call them surprises anymore because I trust that the entire team of MEC, you really went out of your way to analyze, to see the merits of all of these ladies. Although I would say that both Moldova and Japan are not in my list yet, but the rest are really not just bubbling, but they're really fighting out there. So I wouldn't call them surprises. It's just that these two countries are not in my personal list.
There you go. Thank you, Tito Norman. Marky, what about you? What can I say about our first batch?
When I was sharing to you the results of our first half of hot picks, I told you that I was really surprised with Moldova. I really didn't expect her to
Yeah.
be there. But then again, when we reviewed, remember, after looking at the scores, we reviewed their performances. We had to go back. And Moldova really performed. She performed well in the figure and form, and she did really well as well during the interview. So I guess it's just that probably she was under our radar, but then eventually she
Yeah.
stood out there. So there.
Yes. Thank you, Marky. And now let's see the fans if they have any comments on our first batch of final hot picks for Miss Earth 2020. So let's take a look at our fan comments. We have here someone rooting for, of course, the very first. The very first one is Portugal. There you go. Portugal. And actually, we have here someone from Rosemary Fernando. She says Japan. She agrees with Japan. And more comments coming from the fans. Let's see other comments from our Earthlings. Also, okay, let's see here. John Mester would also like to say he agrees with Moldova. Actually, I also have the same sentiments. Moldova was a surprise revelation, so to say, because she was consistently great in all of the three categories. Also have here someone actually, Tito Norman agrees with you. Sabi rin ni Rosemary Fernando, she says, I agree with Tito Norman, Moldova and Japan were pleasant surprises. Thank you, Ma'am Rosemary, for tuning in. And Mildred Cruz Refrano is shouting out Costa Rica. Personally, I'd like to weigh in on this one. I was so happy to see Costa Rica because Costa Rica, Kelly Avila was the very first candidate to be crowned among the roster candidates. She was the very first one. And I was so happy to see that she was able to maintain that front runner status up until the very end because as weeks passed by, there were a lot of really strong candidates that were added, but then Kelly Avila was able to like stay up there in the front runner position. So congratulations to Kelly. And maybe one more. Maybe one more. Someone here is actually saying heart attack. Why naman, Ma'am Rosemary Fernando? Heart attack. Why? Because of the suspense? I don't know. So to all of the fans, please continue putting your comments for your favorites because right now we are ready to reveal our second batch of final hot picks for Miss Earth 2020, which will be revealed once again by our virtual studio host, Emmanuel Feliciano. Eman, we're ready for our second batch. Eman, virtual studio coming in 3, 2. Okay, while we're waiting for Emma, siguro maybe allow me to just read more comments though while we're waiting for our virtual studio host. Again, this is a virtual platform, so we might have some technical difficulties there. I also like to say that actually, Marky, I'd like to mention this. There are a lot of people commenting Bangladesh. Actually, Bangladesh was also one of our favorites for the intelligence round. What can you say, Marky, about like because Bangladesh is it's their very first time to participate this year, right, Marky?
Yes, and not only that, she was a breath of fresh air during the interview. She was very well spoken. She was very ready, and you could really see that she knows a lot about her stuff. So, although yes, she's one of our favorites as well. However, we really had to trim it down, and it's very difficult to trim it down to 20 girls. Imagine from 80 plus girls to 20 girls. It's quite challenging for us. So, I guess Eman is ready
We're
for the second
ready,
half.
yes.
So let me turn it
There
over
you go.
now
So
to
once again, this is our
Eman.
yes, Eman, yes, our second half, our second batch for our final hot picks for Miss Earth 2020.
Global warming through the production and release of greenhouse gases. I believe education is the key in fighting climate change.
Argentina.
My advocacy is for fire, prevention and education. Mi advocacy son los incendios forestales. La razón por la que elegí los incendios forestales es porque está afectando a nuestra tierra.
Venezuela.
The most important thing in my life in this difficult time is to promote education to people around the world about 5R. Retain, reuse, recycle, and respect.
Netherlands.
Today, I am very proud to rise up as an environmental warrior to represent each and everyone who believes that we are able to overcome this crisis through education and solidarity. And that is exactly what my advocacy is about using the lessons we learned from this pandemic by educating the public.
Belgium.
My advocacy is also a very advocacy moment. And I believe that there are plenty of opportunities that everyone has academic capabilities. And if we could have that mindset and use more eco-friendly products, this will be better for our environment and our
Thailand.
In the future, I really would like to work with international to join my project to reducing the overflowing plastic waste in the ocean, in the earth, to recycle them into the creative thing by Mr. Organization. Thank you so much. I chose my advocacy, urban gardening, and agriculture because mostly amidst this pandemic, this could provide food security, it could provide livelihood through sustainability, and of course, regreen Mother Earth. I also have a soft spot for animals, that's why I have adopted pets, and this is what motivated me to start my Street from the Heart program, where I feed strays and pets in need. With all these causes, I constantly remind myself that I could do anything I set my mind and heart to, and that's why I'm here today.
United States.
So it was time to do more. And so I petitioned for change, I clean our land and waters, and I encourage others to be mindful. Because the only way to win this fight is together, and to be a citizen of not only your country, but of the world.
Myanmar.
My biggest realization in this midnight journey is that it provides a global network and global connectivity, and also a mindset that we women can also empower, inspire, and make a change.
And finally, Nigeria.
I'm 23 years old and I'm proud to be a native African girl that has been brought up by my parents, enjoying the simplicity of life. We are living in energy state, sitting in the valley of hills, and have made us so much dependent on nature, relying on sufficient farming of crops and breeding snails for our daily food from the table.
you have it, Earthlings, our top 20 hot picks for Miss Earth 2020. But it's not over yet. Aside from our top 20 hot picks, we of course have also chosen our bubbling under list. These are our eco angels who we believe also have a high chance of making it to the top 20. Who are our bubbling under? Here we go.
Kenya, India, Poland, Slovenia, Canada, and Vietnam.
And that is our complete hot picks and bubbling under list for Miss Earth 2020. Did your bets make it to the cut? If not, who else do you think should be on top? Please tell us and key in your comments down below. But for the discussion of that matter, I'll turn you over back to Noy, Mark, and to our panel.
Thank you so much, Emma. And there you have it, the complete revelation of our top 20 hot picks. And let's now hear it from our experts. I don't know if you've noticed this. The list was a combination of, there were a lot of powerhouse countries who got in, but there were a lot of non-powerhouse countries who also got in the top 20. I'd like to probably hear the thoughts of Tito Norman here. What can you say about that?
Are we referring to the second half or the first half or the entire group?
The entire group. What can you say about it?
The winner will be here for sure. I'm going out on a limb and say that the winner of Miss Earth 2020 will be among these 20 girls. But I will go one step further and say that the winner of Miss Earth 2020 will be in the second half of the top 20 girls. I just feel. But I want someone from the first half to actually prove me wrong, and I want one of the girls in the first half, to actually do very well, because she's among the girls you presented. One of my final four is in the first half, and the remaining three are in the second half. So I'm not sure if you presented them in random order or you presented them in terms of your preferences or whatever, because I thought it would be alphabetical order, but just the same, I think we're going somewhere here. How about you, Matea?
Yes, how about you, Matea?
I feel like I can't follow up after that. That was just all the drama in one. Oh my goodness. I love the girls. I really love the girls. Seeing Canada bubbling up was just probably the cherry on top of my day. I was actually speaking with Glorin yesterday. So to see how far she came, because she's obviously my successor. I think she had a little over like 10 days, or no, she had a week to prep. She was given a full week to prepare. So I'm just really proud of her, but I'm very biased that way.
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, no worries.
It's okay. You know what? I personally think that she has a very big chance. That's why she's in our bubbling under. Just to answer Tito Norman's question, did we do it alphabetically? Was it a random thing? It was actually a random thing.
Okay.
Random
Really?
order. Yes.
Really?
You don't believe?
You don't believe us?
No, but I tend to believe, because as I've said earlier, one of my final four is in the first half. So that means that it is not presented in a way that would show your preferences in an ascending order. just like what Julia Morley of Miss World usually does. Descending order, ascending order. Why am I speaking in a British accent? I don't even.
I don't know.
I really don't know. I should be speaking in a Pacific Islander accent. Whatever.
All right, thank you so much. Later, you get to hear the final top four in Tito Norman and Matea. But before that, would like to hear first the reaction of our fans. What can you say? Please write it down in the comment section. Noy, maybe you could start reading the comments, the reaction of our fans.
Yes, so we're going to read some of our very happy fans like Cheryl Leal, who'd like to say, Philippines, honestly, she is one of the best delegates that the country had sent to a major international pageant. Thank you so much, Cheryl Leal, for weighing in on the Philippines. Okay, Shami Ara Mohuya, okay, I would like to say, very sad to see that Bangladesh is not on your hot pick. Again, nevertheless, she was a great contender. It was so difficult for us to trim it down to like a top 20 and bubbling under. But then Megna was a really great competitor, so to say, okay? Another one coming in is USA. John Mester is shouting out for USA. Thank you so much. And someone here from our fans is also shouting out for, actually, Mark Bailon, the managing director of Miss Earth Australia, is also watching us right now. Sir Mark, hi.
Hi, Mark.
He's so happy. Grabe, I am biased. But then again, Brittany deserved that spot on our final hot picks. Congratulations to Team Australia. Next one here is, of course, Ken Stevens, Sir Norman. Ken Stevens is commenting here right now. What can
Hello,
you say
Ken.
about? Yeah.
What do you want me to comment, Ken? Is it about the chocolates or about Bruger Brussels?
Yes, but then of course, Ken Stevens is so happy that Belgium is part of our final hot picks. Congratulations to Team Belgium as well. And another one here coming in our comment section is actually for Nigeria. Dera Ifanyeze Oluka is shouting out Nigeria. Congratulations to Team Nigeria as well. And more comments coming in. There are a lot. Actually, a lot coming in. Someone for Puerto Rico, Amaryllis, is also saying we love Puerto Rico. We love her as well. Crystal Badillo is amazing. Congratulations to Puerto Rico. And maybe a couple more before we move on to the next one. We're also saying hi to, okay. Other comments coming in is, okay, India has been ignored for a long time. But then, of course, India is part of our bubbling under, right, Mark? So,
yes.
Again, anything can happen during the finals of Miss Earth. So, still congratulations to Tanvi for making it to our bubbling under. And one last, Myanmar. Maung would like to say Myanmar with a lot of M's and hearts. Congratulations to Team Myanmar. And I think, Mark, this is unprecedented for Myanmar because this is, I think, if ever, their very first time to place at Miss Earth. Am I right, Mark?
Yes.
Ay,
If
nagsabi
the
na
prediction,
gano'n, place.
yes, if the
Nakakaloka.
prediction becomes,
if
it gets confirmed, then it will be their first ever
Yeah.
placement in Miss Earth. Yes,
You know,
you're correct.
if
So
evers are very important, if ever.
yes. So we'd like to encourage the fans now, if you don't mind, writing your top four on the comment section, because after us hearing the top four of our guests, we would like to hear it from you. So with that, I think it's now time. It's now time for our beautiful experts and our guests to reveal their top four.
Kinakabahan si Tito Norma.
So who should go first? Let me
Matia,
check.
ladies, beautiful ladies first.
Yes, let's
Beautiful ladies.
Let's
you
start
go
with
first.
beauty. Let's start with beauty of face. So I'll be starting with Matea. Beauty of face first. So who are your top
my
four?
gosh.
And tell us why. Yes, Matea.
Okay, well, first I want to say, because I feel like being a competitor in this industry, I was in the industry for 10 years. Hot picks lists are so important for the industry based on the fact that so many people love to support the women and look at the credibility of the women. But that doesn't mean just because you don't make someone's list doesn't mean you aren't qualified to win the title because you earned your spot there. So ladies, keep that in mind. I know you're probably all watching at some point, but that's like the most important thing is know that these lists are for the industry. They're not for the organizations. They're not for the judges. They're for the fans. So that's my first thing, very first thing, very important thing. Oh, my top four. Can I do? Okay, I'm going to do top four. I fell in love with Costa Rica's natural beauty. There's something about her that has this just gorgeous effervescence that makes you want to be the person who sees her walking down the street and go, that girl could look gorgeous in an evening gown. That girl could look gorgeous in jeans and a t-shirt. And she makes you feel like she's naturally your friend. So that would be the first girl. Second girl, I'm like looking at your beautiful graphic, would be definitely Netherlands. I'm just a huge fan of Netherlands. She's bubbly, she's happy, she knows what she's talking about. She has great presentation. She has a beautiful team behind her, but the fans love her too. And having a queen that the fans love as well is so important. Okay. Next, I feel like this is a given for me, but especially with Miss Earth, it's definitely going to be Philippines. She is someone I would love to go to coffee with and just sit down and get to know her because she's got such an honest way of speaking. She makes you feel that you're literally her best friend, and I think that's so important, especially in a Miss Earth, because she reminds me a lot of Nelly in that way, where she's just everyone's friend, it seems like. So I fell in love with her for that. Obviously, her presentation's beautiful. She's got a great team behind her, but just the way she carries herself and she presents herself, she knows what she's doing. And then last, I would say is, I'm going to go with USA. There's something about Lindsay that's just a little bit different. She's definitely got an athletic build, which I adore as an athlete. But she's got this edge to her that I don't normally see at Miss Earth, and I really think it's something special and that stands out. So those are going to be my top four. I'm not going to do a top five. I'm going to do a top four and keep it simple, because if I do a top five, it'll turn into a top 10.
Thank you so much, Matea. You have a very powerful list. So again, let me repeat that.
You are so brave, Matea.
Yes.
Bravo.
Brave,
brave girl.
I feel like these girls are going to kill me. I feel like they're going to kill me.
Okay, again, let me repeat that. Matea, I hope I got the list right.
Yeah.
It's Costa Rica, USA, Philippines, and the fourth one?
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Okay, so that's very good top four. And thank you for sharing your thoughts and telling us why. So
if not, the girls from 2019 are going to come back to kill me on their countries. Our group chat is going to explode.
Okay, so thank you for sharing that. So we're done with beauty of face. You prioritize Matea, beauty of face. Let's now move on to the next one. Fitness, form, poise, and intelligence. Let me call on Tito Norman. May I have your top four, Tito Norman?
Why do you say fitness, form, and poise? Why don't you just say intelligence and vintage or something like that? But kidding aside, I cannot mention my final four without naming the countries from where I filtered my final four from. And I always do it in a very systematic manner. I do it by region. So I have my top three from Asia and Oceania, my top three from Africa, my top three from Europe, and my top three from Americas and the Caribbean. From Africa, my top three are South Africa, Kenya, and Cote d'Ivoire. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes, okay. So those are my top three from Africa. My top three from Americas, I'm doing it alphabetical, would be Panama, Puerto Rico, and the US. Okay, so that's for Americas and the Caribbean. Now, from Asia and Oceania, it'll be Australia, the Philippines, and Thailand. And from Europe, it would be Netherlands, Belarus, and Poland. Poland is is a personal thing because I always look at girls who are like mirror images of my beauty somehow. So now,
we totally agree.
Okay, the final four, it's in there because I want my final four to have to be representing all the four regions. So My final four from Africa would be South Africa. I truly believe that South Africa deserves to win Miss Earth crown because they have been really seriously doing their job environmentally from their part of the globe. So, and I know that South Africa is on an upswing right now in pageantry, and I think Lungo Katete is my best from Africa. From Americas, it's USA. Lindsay Coffey is just a I won't call her a sweetheart. She's not a sweetheart type, but she is just a very dynamic girl. You watch her Echo video and you see a girl you want to become. If you're a young teenage girl, you want to become like her. Someone's very athletic, someone who goes to the different parts of the world and have herself challenged in many different ways. So USA is my second. From Asia, it's hard when you're the host delegate. But I think I blogged about this before. The Philippines, she is just so lovely, and I never rooted for a Miss Philippines in Miss Earth. Honestly, this is the only time that I'm rooting for her because the girl has mastered the craft of a virtual competition. She
Yeah.
knows how to
Agree.
present herself. But although I would say that I just want to point out that in the beauty of face, I love the beauty of face because you can really see the natural gorgeousness of the girls without a lot of makeup on. Okay, so Philippines for me, for Asia, and for Europe, it'd be Netherlands, Tessa Conje. Actually, for me, Europe is still relatively wide open because any one of the other girls from Europe can actually just surprise us and be up there in the final four. But I'm so used to Miss Earth being relatively unpredictable in some years, predictable in another and another. Last year it was kind of predictable for me in the winner because, as I've said earlier, when I saw Nellis, I already knew that she was going to be a winner. But on another year, you'd be surprised. Like when Vietnam won 2 years ago, that was a very pleasant surprise for me. Ang saya, well, I was speaking Filipino. In Mateus,
It's fine.
I
Do
was
it.
so I
Please
was
do
so
it.
happy when Vietnam won 2 years ago because Pongkan is just she's a sweetheart.
She's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, she
Lovely.
is. She is. She is. And the thing is, she's so slim, but she eats
Eats
so
a lot.
much.
Yeah.
She eats a
Yes.
lot. We ate dim sum, and she finished the whole platter, and didn't even gain weight. Oh my goodness! So my final four would be South Africa, USA, the Philippines, and Netherlands. I want Philippines to win, but I don't know if the Philippines wins, and people would say again, why let the Philippines win again? But I would really be happy with anyone among South Africa, USA, and Netherlands. They have not won the title of Miss Earth yet, but between among the three, I'd be happy between South Africa and USA. Oh my God, I'm preempting my final predictions for next week. My goodness gracious,
And
great balls
thank you
of
so
fire.
much thank you so much, Tito Norman, for revealing that. We appreciate it. We'll love it. So thank you, Matea. Thank you, Tito Norman. So now we're done with beauty of face, fitness form,
What?
employees, and intelligence. Let me now look at the next level, which is virtual presence. Nonoy, who is your
Totoo
top
ba?
four?
My God.
Virtual present. What do you mean by that exactly? Okay,
Oh my
so
goodness.
I'm going to follow through what Peter Roman mentioned. Of course, it's supposed to be the overall package. I mean, everyone did an amazing job, but then I chose actually five, but then I narrowed to four based on their performances in the three pre-judging rounds, and of course, as Mark mentioned, I also like to take into account their virtual presence because again, this is a virtual pageant after all. I look at um, which of the candidates were really present online with the eco photos, with the content that they post online and share with the fans. And for me, I have props, several of props. Okay, I have four. Okay, top four na lang yan. Okay, top four is, first one is USA, Philippines, and Myanmar. Those are my top four based on overall performance and their presence online. Specifically, I'd like to point out Netherlands has been killing it in terms of like putting the content out there all the time. We just watch out for whatever she is going to like post online the next day. Philippines is, I think, one of the most present Miss Philippines Earth we've ever had, be it online or offline. USA has been so consistent with her performances, and she's like a quintessential spokesperson. And Myanmar, I'd love to see like someone who hasn't won or placed in any pageant or in Miss Earth for that matter to be up there. She deserves it if ever she goes up there in the top four. So those are my top four. There you go, Marky.
Wow, thank you so much for revealing your top four. That makes my life easy because that's also my top four. Thank you.
No! You will have to reveal yours.
No, my top four really is also USA, Philippines, Netherlands, and of course, my fourth is Thailand. I love her dedication. She's been very consistent with this. I love the content that she also put out, and I also saw the effort of her team in not just presenting their culture but also presenting her advocacy. So I think those are my strong top four. So there you go, Noi. Maybe we could hear it now from our fans and see who
There you
are
go.
their top four.
Okay, to all of our fans right now is your time to key in your personal top four, hashtag react, and place your personal top four. So join in the fun like this one. We have here something from Denise Adriatico. Her personal top four are Venezuela, Myanmar, USA, and Nigeria. Thank you so much for placing your top four. Again, to all of the fans, if you have your personal top fours ready, key in on the comments. We also have your someone for the Philippines. Mamshi Gomez is saying the Philippines. Thank you so much for keying in that. For Roxy Bayens. Also, someone here is rooting for the USA. Where is that? Oh, not that one. This one. Sorry. USA. Okay, top four. Okay, here. Top four here is Nel Carlo Ma. It's also saying. Where is that? Okay, here. There you go. Top four for him. Philippines. Why not, right? To make things a lot easier. Next one, James Ryan. James Bueno, sorry. James Bueno is saying, okay, here is this one. I cannot click it. There you go, James Bueno. Venezuela, Netherlands, Myanmar, yan dapat.
And USA.
Yan dapat. There you go. Thank you so much. Also, Cheng Sinohong would also like to say or show his personal top four. Where is that? Okay. There are a lot of comments. I'm so sorry. I'm just scrambling to see the other comments coming in already. Okay. There. Okay. Allow me to like browse through this one. Okay, this one.
There you go.
Neo Jake T. My top four, USA, Netherlands, Thailand, Nigeria, or Myanmar. Oh, my four. Just in case there is a buffer. There you go. Jaime Miran Menor Jr. would like to say his top four are Philippines, USA, Myanmar, and Thailand. Thank you so much for keying in your top four. Another one, Ma'am Ibanabo, of course, is also here. Of course, recap. Her reaction and her top four are Nigeria, Australia, Myanmar, and the Philippines. Thank you so much. Maybe we can see more. John Janel Soriano, top four, Thailand, Venezuela, USA, and South Africa. There you go. And we want to see more from the fans. There are a lot of other fans keying in their comments for the top four. Berlin, her top four is USA, Philippines, Netherlands, and South Africa. Maybe one more from the fans. Jonas Aquino Bautista. Philippines, USA, Costa Rica, and Myanmar. There you go. So to all of the fans who key in their top four for Mr. 2020, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for interacting with us. And now we are turning it over. Mark, is there anything else that we want to give back to our fans? Because it's our episode 8. What is up next for our episode 8?
Of course, since we'd like to give back to our fans, we actually have a surprise, a game for the fans, and there's a prize. So we have what we call your MECQ or Miss Earth. There you have it, Noy. What is the Miss Earth Crown quiz?
Okay, so for this one, the MECQ for this episode is very special because unlike the past episodes where we gave away some cool prizes, this time we're actually giving away this. Have the chance to win your own KTXE tickets to the Miss Earth 2020 Grand Coronation. So this is going to be open to all Earthlings around the world. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask a couple of questions, and if you are the first one, again, the very first one to answer the question correctly, you're going to win an e-ticket. Okay, a KTXE ticket to the Miss Earth 2020 Grand Coronation. There you go. So, fans, are you ready to answer our MECQ question for tonight? Let's have our first question. Let's see our question number 1. So all of the fans, be ready to answer and comment your answers to the question. Let's have the first MECQ. All right. Anyone can join. Question number 1. Here it is. Give the name of the very first Miss Earth Fire 2001 and the country she represented.
Oh my God, I know that. My God, I could not just key in my answer, but I know that. I know that girl. My goodness gracious. Oh my God, nobody's answering yet.
Yes,
the
let's
answer
wait
there.
for
The answer there is bleep bleep. Yes.
Again, please give the name of the very first Miss Earth Fire 2001 and the country that she represented. While we're waiting for an answer from our guest, I'd probably like to hear the thoughts of Matea. What do you think, since we're almost ending the virtual competition and the coronation is nearing, it's just a few days away. If you are
You have a winner.
If you are to rate the virtual competition of Miss Earth, probably 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, how would you rate the virtual competition for this edition?
I'd say for production quality, I'd say a 5, but overall experience, I'd have to say like a 3 or a 4, just because the girls aren't able to meet in person. I was talking with Nelly, Imani, Nikki, and Susanna, and then Nazia, and we were all just saying, like, it's so unfortunate that the girls can't actually be together the way we were, because we talk every single day. And having that bond where we're together for 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time, that is something that these girls may not have the same experience as. So that's the only thing that we could really criticize, is the girls may not have that same in-person experience that we treasure so much.
There you go. I think I agree with you. It's really the personal touch there when you experience the actual competition as compared to the virtual one. Thank you, Matea. How about you, Tito Norman?
You know, actually, I miss covering Miss Earth physically because I want to actually see the girls with my own 2 eyes and not just see them from videos and their presentations virtually. And I know that doing this virtual competition has really prevented the ladies to experience our brand of hospitality here in the Philippines. They could have really experienced a lot more here. But just the same, if the organizers pushed for an actual physical pageant, then I doubt if they could have all 82 eco angels come here to the Philippines. So the mere fact that it's virtual, it really gave all the ladies the confidence to participate and be part of Miss Earth 2020. Sayang nga lang that they couldn't come here, but I would love the eventual winners to visit the Philippines.
All right, I agree with you. Now it's quite different. The pandemic really changed the way we do things, but I think even though it changed the way we do things, we're now more connected. Okay, more connected more than ever because of technology. Thank you so much, Tito Norman and Matea. So I think we already have a winner. Congratulations to Ben CM. There you go, Ben CM, and his answer is Daniela Stukan from Argentina. Woo! Congratulations, Ben. You won a KITX ticket for the coronation of Miss Earth 2020. So that's the first question. We are done with the first question. Let's now move on to the second one. Again, this will be for the same price, a KITX ticket for the virtual coronation. Who was the first Asian Miss Earth winner? And what country did she represent? Again, who was the first Asian Miss Earth winner and what country did she represent? Please write down your answers. Okay, write down your answers for a chance to win a virtual ticket from KITX. There you go. And while we're waiting for that, Tito Norman, maybe you'd like to promote anything, any event that's upcoming, anything that you'd like our fans to follow.
Yes,
So
please.
we could follow you, and if you have any events, please feel free to share it now.
Yes. If you haven't followed me in my blog at normanorman.com, please do so. But I also have my Sunday online show, Pageantry Norms. This week it's a season break for us, but on November 29, it will be the season 3 premiere. And guess who our guests will be for the season 3 premiere?
Who?
The freshly crowned winners of Miss Earth 2020 and the Elemental Court.
Oh my goodness.
You know, Matea, I actually courted the organizers about this guesting as far back as the middle of the competition, and I was already assuming that okay, so a lot of people would like to interview the eventual winners. We don't know who the winners will be yet, but I already asked them, can you reserve November 29, 4 p.m. for me? Because I know that the finals will be aired, well, here on Philippine TV on the 29th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So, which means that the girls will only be given a few hours and then they will be guesting on my show. And I'm so happy about that.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Congratulations.
Because I also did that for Miss Philippines Earth back in what's that? August or September, I think. And they were crowned just before lunch of a particular day. And then around 4 in the afternoon, they already guested in my show. It's like the first press conference.
I love it. Having something like right off the bat is so valuable for those girls.
And it's just that, of course, if we're going to have the 4 winners, if 1 or 2 of them would be from Americas and the Caribbean, then of course they would really have to stay up late just like you, because
it's the job. It's the job.
Yes, exactly. But that's going to be on November 29 at 4 p.m. Pageantry Norm, so you can watch it out. Just check on my page. And that's it. That's what I can promote. I can promote my love life, but nobody will. There'll be no takers for that.
I still love you.
Tito Norman, you never
Thank
know.
you, Matea.
You never know. But thank you so much. Please watch the interview of Tito Norman on the 29th after the coronation for all the winners of the virtual edition of Miss Earth 2020. Thank you, Tito Norman. How about you, Matea? Anything you'd like to promote? Anything that you'd like us to follow?
Well, I've got a little inside scoop. We just crowned our new Miss Earth Canada for 2021 last week.
Oh!
So if you haven't seen her, she is the most incredible girl. Her name is Laura. She's from Toronto. So we now have our 2021 representative for Miss Earth already. So that's my little shout out for her because she is such a sweetheart. You guys are going to love her. She is one of my favorite people right now, next to Glorin, obviously, because we're cheering Glorin right now in my mind.
Cool. Thank you so much.
What will happen then if we're back to the normal, the old normal next year, and then she'll be coming to the Philippines? What would you tell Lauren, Mattea?
I'd say, Glorin, we're going to book a plane ticket, go to the Philippines, and cheer on Laura. That's the plan.
Exactly.
Hope to see you here. Hope to see you here. Very
Fingers
excited.
Crossed.
Fingers crossed. Thank you. So I guess we already have a winner for question number 2. And the answer for question number 2 is Carla Henry from the Philippines. And it's Von Rich who won that ticket. Thank you and congratulations, Von Rich. Woohoo! Thank you so much. And again, this is all for you. Thank you so much to our fans. Thank you for interacting with us. So, Nonoy, anything else that you'd like to share before we officially close it off?
Yes, to all of the fans, to both of the fans who won the KTS tickets, we are going to send you a PM to know how you can claim your e-tickets in the coming days. But then, of course, we'd like to say thank you to all of the Earthlings around the world for interacting. Maraming salamat from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for tuning in to our special Hot Fix episode for MEC Pageant Roundup series. But then before we leave, we have one more thing we'd like to promote or to plug for all of our Earthlings. Actually, this is going to happen on Monday, I think, Mark, right? We have a tie-up or a partnership with Kagandahang Flores, one of the top pageant camps in the Philippines, and they have a donation drive which will be streamed live here on Miss Earth Crown on Monday, 8 p.m. So if you want to see all of your favorite queens from Kagandahang Flores, and of course, give back to our fellow Filipinos who were affected by the typhoons, Rolly and Ulysses, please tune in to our special donation drive show on Monday, 8 p.m. only here on the Miss Earth Crown page. And I think it's also going to be streamed on other pages like the KF page and Mr. Wilbur Tolentino's official page here on Facebook. So once again, to all of our Earthlings, maraming salamat po.
Yes, and it's now time to give back. So I hope you don't mind joining us in that donation drive. We'd like to give back to the people who got affected by that typhoon. Again, this is unprecedented and it's caused by global warming, by the changes in our climate and our weather. So I think we are all accountable in helping the victims of the typhoon. So please join us on Monday. Anything else, Noy?
Yes, and of course, please do follow Miss Earth Crown on all of our social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, our YouTube channel for more Miss Earth 2020 updates. And of course, on behalf of our lovely guest commentators, it's really
beautiful
an
experts.
And a pleasure.
We love them.
Mattea Henderson and Tito Norman Tino. Can we give a virtual
applause? Tito Norman Tino.
Thank you so much. This has been a lovely episode. Maraming salamat po. Sana po it's going to be not the last time. We'd love to have another session with the two of you. And of course, on behalf of the entire Miss Earth Crown team and my handsome co-host Marky Gatchalian, this has been Noy Sabelano for Miss Earth Crown saying stay safe and have a great night, everyone. Maraming salamat. Bye!
Bye!
Have a great evening and a great morning.
Good morning, Mattea.
I'm going to go to bed.